So I was thinking about the whole me, myself, and I bit. I've come a very long way, and I've struggled through, I want to say, the depths of despair, but when it comes to looking at yourself in a certain way, let's say me is who you are. Myself would be your traumas, your insecurities, your fears, all the things that make you question other things or question me. And then I would be all the outside influences, the things that are unseen, the things that we don't understand, that may or may not have an impact on us. We'll call that I. So now I'm starting to fully appreciate all those people that worked really frickin' hard to get where they are before. Before, I used to judge people with money or something like that and think, oh, well, they had it handed to them, or why don't they share, or things like that. And now that I'm finally starting to get to a more comfortable place in my life, I realize it's because of all the hard work that I've put in, everything that I've gone through, all the struggles, getting knocked down, picking myself back up again. And I realized that no, I don't have to share that with anybody. And no, I do not have to tell anybody how I did it, but I want to, because I realize that people out there are struggling. And I think a lot of individuals that turn to anything to cope, like drugs, alcohol, all that stuff, they're basically avoiding taking a look at the myself part. We'll say the darker side of things, because it's very difficult to confront myself and take a look at all the pain, insecurities, traumas, and anything that happened. And if anybody were to ask me how I got to where I am right now, I would say I had to completely allow myself to lose all the things that gave me comfort. Maybe not completely 100%, but for the most part, anything that was like a receiving blanket or like some form of comfort, I had to completely lose those things. I didn't have to. I chose to put myself in a position where I was not comfortable, so that, because I knew in the long run, me, like, I knew that in the long run it would benefit me greatly to look at the things that were difficult and to see and understand who I am, where I came from, etc. And the only way I could do that was to force myself. Nobody else did it. I chose to look at all the traumas and things that happened in my past and where I was responsible and take accountability for things. Even the stuff that happened to me that was out of my control or anything like that, what was my position in those moments? Like, why did I act the way I did? Why did I feel the way I did? Things like that, the very difficult things. And then you have to ask yourself questions like as if you were asking your inner child. So the answers are going to be somewhat in the form that a child would answer those questions. Like, at that moment in time, during any traumas, pick and choose which one. You're dealing with multiple, then you do one at a time. I suggest ask yourself, what were you thinking at the time? How did you feel at the time? And then if you're honest with yourself, those answers are going to be childlike in a circumstance. You know, you're going to get to, oh, well, I was scared, or I didn't know, or stuff like that. But you just ask yourself, what was your part in it? As if you were to go to a therapist, a complete stranger that goes through years and years of university or degrees or whatever, just to tell you these things that you can do for yourself. But it is a difficult process, and not a lot of people want to take the time or effort or go through the grief which you need to go through, the rain, in order to get your rainbow. And the only way you get your rainbow, and the only way you can start making things better for yourself, is if you go through that period of losing the things that bring you comfort. And it's totally up to you. It really is. Whether or not you want to go through that process, whether or not you want to realize certain things or be honest with yourself, because a lot of us, you know, me, myself, I lied about certain things to me. Like, I literally had myself convinced that things were fine and things didn't have to be looked at, but that's not the case. And so if anybody ever were to come around me now, I'm going to be a lot different than I was before, and I'm going to have a lot more than I had before. And I seem to be getting more and more of an abundance of things in my life now that I have changed my habits and removed things out of my life that no longer served me. But I can tell you this much, it was difficult. But in order to have the things we truly want in life, you can't expect other people to do it for you. If you want something fixed, then do it yourself. If you want something healed, then heal yourself.